everybody. Hope you're enjoying your Memorial Day weekend. Most people like to barbecue outside on Memorial Day weekend, but we're going to do something different. If you don't want to go outside and deal with weather, maybe it's raining or the heat, I'm going to show you how to do it indoors. So we're just going to make a simple recipe for coleslaw today, and also barbecued ribs that I'm going to make in the oven. So first I'm going to start with the coleslaw. I'm just going to get my mixing bowl. Got a 1 pound package of already prepared coleslaw mix. I'm going to dump it in. And then we're going to set this aside next. And you're going to need a separate container. So I have 2/3 cup of whipping cream. Go ahead and pour it in there. And then I also have a 1/2 cup of sugar and a 1/4 cup of just distilled white vinegar. So we'll mix that in. And make sure you keep stirring until the sugar is dissolved. And since it is heavy whipping cream, it does get pretty thick. Well, actually, once we get this mixed in, we'll let this sit in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. We're going to go ahead and just cover this with plastic wrap, and then I'll sit it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes, and then we'll pour it into our mixing bowl that has the coleslaw. 30 minutes has passed. We're going to go ahead and finish the coleslaw. In this one, this cup, it's a 1/2 teaspoon of salt with a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. So I'm going to sprinkle that over the coleslaw mixture. And then we'll go ahead and add our dressing. All right, once I have all that in there, just stir it up a little bit. And actually, my mixing bowl does have a lid, so I find it a little bit easier just to put the lid on and shake it up really good. And then it gets everything coated. And now we're just going to let this sit in the refrigerator for a couple of hours while we get our ribs going. So I do have my ribs. These are pork baby back ribs. I've gone ahead and cut them into, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 ribs per portion. And I put them in a glass baking dish. So what I like to use for the dry rub, I get the Grill Mates apple wood, and I'll just coat it really good. I prefer to let it sit overnight in the refrigerator with the rub before you bake them. I didn't have time to do that this time, so let's go ahead and sprinkle the rub on. And you can put it on there pretty thick. I prefer to get both sides, just lightly on the bottom. All right, so that's how they're looking with the rub on them. I'll add barbecue sauce after they've baked. About halfway through the baking, I'll add some barbecue sauce, and then I'll add more about 15 minutes before they are finished cooking. But I went ahead and I preheated the oven to 380 degrees. Pretty simple. This is it. I'm just going to cover them with foil, and we're going to let them cook for about 2.5 to 3 hours, and then I'll add a little bit of the barbecue sauce. All right, so 2.5 hours has passed, and our ribs are ready for barbecue sauce. So you can use any barbecue sauce, your favorite. This is what I get. I know it's not available everywhere, but it's a really good one if you can get it. Okay, so here's what they look like before the barbecue sauce. I'm going to go ahead and brush them with our sauce that we have here. And then we'll put them back in the oven and let them go another probably an hour, and then I'll add a little bit more barbecue sauce. Okay, so everything is finished. We're ready to eat. I've got a plate here to show you our finished product. We did add a little bit of the Gordon Ramsay potato puree. If you haven't seen that video, check that out because it's one of our favorites. Yeah, this is how it turned out. So there's our potato puree. There's our ribs and our coleslaw. Again, it was something easy to make for a holiday weekend. If you don't want to go outside and barbecue, you can do it inside. It was a simple recipe. It took a few hours, yes, to make the ribs. They're worth it. They fall off the bone. So enjoy your holiday weekend, and we'll see you next time.